Hey guys, it's Heather. So today I'm on part 2 of pros and cons of being a massage therapist. Today we're going to talk about the pros. The pros of being a massage pro. I'm outside today in my little garden nook. It's a really nice day. It's a little overcast. We've had some rain and some storms in the last couple of days, but it's really nice. It's really nice out here right now. So this video may not be as long as the cons video, but only because for the cons video I also added a lot of solutions, to some challenges of being a massage therapist. So don't take it as like there are way more cons than pros, which is not the case. There are way more pros for me and for most of us that practice this. There are way more pros than cons. It's just that in the con video it's longer. I also added a lot of solutions, but the pro list I'm going to talk about is actually longer. So number 1, and these are not in any particular order. I'm going to try to put things in an order as I talk about them, but we'll see. My mind works the way it works. So one of the things that I love and that a lot of massage therapists love is that it is one-on-one work. I've worked in groups before. I've done, public speaking or been a student and had to, work in groups and things like that. And I do fine when I have to do, group work or, be part of a team, in healthcare, it's very teamwork based, and I was in medical school for a while. I was in nursing school for a while. That's on another video. But anyway, so it's very teamwork based, and massage can be teamwork based. If you the individual massage generally is going to be on one. I know some places around here that they do community massage clinics. So that's also an option. That's another one of the things. This career is so flexible. You really can make it what you want it to be. Make it what you need it to be. It's a very flexible career. But most of us, and this is how it's traditionally practiced, it's one-on-one. And I personally really enjoy that one-on-one work, those one-on-one relationships where I can really deeply talk to someone, offer them a safe space so that they can, talk about the challenges they're experiencing in their bodies. And I even hear a lot of things, even about people's lives or other problems that they're having. Of course I can't offer advice on those things. If somebody comes to me and they're like, what, I'm going through a divorce, I'm having a really hard time, things like that. Every once in a while, I'll get somebody who does want to talk before or after, or even while they're on the table. Sometimes I'll get a chatty person who will just tell me things. And while I can't offer therapeutic advice, I can listen. I can listen to people, and oftentimes, the things that are in your body are also things that are in your mind. They show up together. And so sometimes people will release things, as you're helping them release things in their body. And that's a really nice and beautiful experience as well. So even though I can't, help someone through any issues that aren't, physical, of the soft tissues of the body, you get to see into other people's lives, and it can be that can just be very rewarding in itself. And building those relationships sometimes, for a lot of my clients, I see them over months, or I see them over years, or I see them at different points in their lives, and it's just really nice to not necessarily track people's lives, but just see, where people are in their lives and know people at different times. And that can also be really enjoyable. One of my absolute favorite things about massage is that it is so peaceful. It is so quiet. It is so relaxing. It is so meditative. Now, I am not here today to tell you that giving a massage is anywhere near as relaxing as receiving a massage. However, it is very relaxing. Um, I do some of my best work when I get in a very meditative, like, a movement meditation, almost like a, what is that called? Is it Qigong? The movement, I think that's what it's called. It's like that. And it's just, I'm also a slow and methodical and very patient and detail oriented massage therapist. So I'm a kind of person that I can like find, a problem area, issues and that somebody's come in about, and I can just like sink in and stay there and just like really like hone in on that. And it really takes me to a deeply relaxing and satisfying state. I super like that a lot. I'm a person, I like to meditate in my own time. And I enjoy that part of working with clients as well. Some lines of work, the results that you see, it can take a long time. Like if you're working like on a long-term project or something like that, it can take a while to see any of the fruits of your labor, so to speak. But with massage, and I'm not saying that we fix people or cure people, like those aren't words that we use. But seeing, it can also be long term. Nobody is fixed generally after one massage session anyway. So it can be, like a long term working relationship, and you may not see like the full benefits for a while, but even after just one session, and if somebody's coming in pain or something like that, even just with one session, and then to hear them get up off the table and they're just like telling you the pain is gone or the pain has lessened significantly. I use like, a pain scale a lot of times in the health intake, and the client, like, the talk that we have before, I'll ask them to rate their current level of pain, and then afterwards I ask them to rate it again, 0 through 10. 0 like no pain, 10 the worst pain you've ever felt in your life. And there is almost always a difference, and that is very rewarding. Like you can see results, you can see tangible results, see it, feel it, experience it. It's very nice. Another thing is the praise. Like I'm not in this for the praise, for the attention, but I am not gonna lie to you and tell you that it is not nice. You can have somebody, it doesn't happen very often that you'll get like a challenging client or personality coming in. That doesn't usually happen. Like usually people are so happy and so excited to be there that like you deal with people at their best. And I also feel like I am my best self when I am doing massage. And I love this work, you guys. I really love what I do. You get people and they're already happy. They're already excited that they're coming in for a massage. And they could even be having like such a crappy day. And afterwards, they just get up off the table in such a better mood. Like more restful, but also more energized, and they just feel better. And that is such a nice experience. And then the praise that you can get for that, like, oh, that was wonderful, or that was the best massage that I've ever had, or I'm gonna tell my friends about you, or thank you, you've really helped me a lot. Like I hold those things in my heart. It really makes my day to make somebody else's day. Like I could actually tear up right now thinking about it. But it's such a nice part of the job. It's a definite perk. So it's also very active, body-centered work. That was one of the cons, that it can be very physically exhausting. But if you're not a person that just likes to sit, or if you're not somebody that just into tedium, or you're not like an in your head all the time, like cerebral type person, or if you want something where you use your body for the work and you're active and you're moving around, this is a definite perk of that. It also kind of forces me to take better care of my health. You know, for a while, like I wasn't doing massage like as much, you know, especially during COVID. I mean, we're still in the midst of COVID, but you know, like I can at least practice now. I still like wear my N95s. I still require like clients be vaccinated and wear their masks as well. But so I wasn't practicing there for a good while, and now like I'm back into it, and it forces me to take better care of my body, and that's definitely a pro. You know, like having to exercise more, having to eat better, having to maintain a good sleep schedule to do my job. Like it, to me, that is a definite benefit of massage. Also, speaking about cerebral and thinking for your job, it's a different kind of thinking with massage. I feel like practicing mindfulness is very important to me. Every once in a while you'll find some like Reddit thread or, you know, something, and you'll talk about somebody that they're like, oh, it was just a really boring massage. They wanted an hour on just their low back. And I was thinking about my grocery list or whatever. And I'm not saying I never think about things like that. You know, I'll have like a thought sometimes. Sometimes I do some of my best thinking while driving, showering, and doing massage. You know, like I'll just get like bursts of inspiration, things that, you know, I gotta remember to put on my to-do list or whatever later. But I really try to practice mindfulness and being with somebody, and I do some of my best thinking, not just, you know, about my life and what I'm currently doing, but about the client and like how I can best help them. And it may sound a little bit kooky, but like I think good things about my clients. Like I actively think good things about them while I'm massaging them. You know, sending them like good vibes or platonic love feelings, and just thinking, you know, you are valuable. I'm glad that you are here on my table today. All bodies are good bodies. You know, I'm just like thinking things like that about them while I'm also working with them, and I am convinced that it definitely shows through in my work. And I think it just makes a better experience of just like being with them, just being in tune with them, like, you know, having time to slow down and to think. And that's another thing too, like, you know, with the flexibility of this job, you know, you can be somebody who's like really dynamic with your movements, and you can also be somebody who's very slow and methodical with your movements. And sometimes I switch back and forth, like depending on the person, depending on their needs. And that's really nice. Like, you know, you could say, well, a massage is a massage and that's what you're doing all day, every day. But it's different. Like if you enjoy this work, like there are so many different nuances. It's just varied, like every day. Or sometimes it's kind of funny, you know, that you'll get people, not that this is like necessarily a pro or a con, it just is, but I always kind of find it interesting when some days like you'll get the same things like all in a row, and it's like, what, how did that happen? Like that's funny how it lines up like that. You'll have somebody who has like the same issues in their body, or that will tell you the same kinds of things, and it's like, oh well, that's what we're doing today, and like that's the theme of today. And like that's kind of nice. I like when that happens. I feel like I've kind of touched on this as a little bit, but I feel like it is a job, or it can anyway, it is a job that can promote intuition. You'll hear some massage therapists, a lot of massage therapists, just, you know, like practice very intuitively. And sometimes I'll tell clients, like, you know, I try to be honest. Like if I don't know something, I am not gonna tell you that I do. I'm not one of those people. Like I'm not gonna lie and tell you that I don't like to be right, and that I don't, like to know what I'm talking about. I 100% like to know what I'm talking about, and I love to be right. I'm like trying to come out of this part of my life where it's like, would you rather be right or would you rather be happy? And it's like, I guess I'd rather be happy, but I'm not gonna lie, I like being right. But massage is not always like that. There is this element that you can just really deepen your intuition. You can definitely deepen your intuition with this work. It definitely promotes that if you're in the moment and you're really listening, with all your senses like this. But like touch, like feeling, seeing. Although sometimes I do close my eyes a lot during massage and I just feel. But even listening, sometimes you'll feel like you hear clicks or pops or like crepitus, like the crunchy, snap crackle pops, things like that, and that will tell you things. It's just such a tactile, so in your body kind of experience. I really like that about it. So it can also I feel like a lot of people that are drawn to massage are people that also are very motivated to help themselves. And those relationships, oh, I love those. I love when a client comes in and they really need, XYZ, and we develop a plan and they are very motivated to get these things, figured out, find solutions, work on these things. And that relationship, when they take your suggestions to heart and they do their homework and then they come back and they've worked on these things, and you can just feel that difference. And it's just that is very powerful work. And I feel like a lot of people are like that with massage. They're just very motivated to figure out whatever's going on and find those solutions, get better. It's really great. I love that. So you can definitely choose your work environment with massage. You can work anywhere. You can work yoga studio, chiropractor's office, you can work in the hospital, you can work out of your home like I do. I never thought I would do that before. I've worked in a lot of different places. I've worked in clinics, chiropractor's office, yoga studios, spas, dentist office in my early days. I've worked in a lot of different settings, but these days I work out of my home, and I never thought I would be that kind of person. I always thought, well, that's not professional, they're not gonna see me as legitimate. But my massage room, it is the nicest and most spacious massage room that I've ever had. And yeah, you're driving up to a neighborhood in the city that I live in, and you're driving up through houses, and there aren't really businesses right here. Up the street there are some businesses, but this is definitely a residential street, and you drive up and it's okay, this is a house, which they know that before they come. It doesn't catch people off guard. And then you pull up in the driveway and then you walk in my door and it's oh, this is a massage room. This is a massage room just like it would be anywhere else. And so I've really that's nice. I never saw myself doing this, but again, you just have so much flexibility in all aspects of it. Work environment is one of them. You can even do traveling. If travel is your thing, you can travel as a massage therapist. You can do it in the hospital, and I think there's some opportunities with that. I don't know a lot about it, how there are travel nurses. I think you can also do that with massage if you dig in and look for those opportunities. But also cruises, if you really want to travel, work for a cruise line, and you're everywhere. Or at different resorts and things like that, if you want to do that for a while. And most of those most of those kinds of places, you don't have to build up a clientele, because if you're in a resort, it's not people are coming there specifically for you. You are a perk your work is a perk of being at the resort, and it's you don't have to have a regular clientele, and you can, if you want to work here for a while, you do that, pick up and go somewhere else, and those kinds of places, you don't have to build up a clientele. Like, you can just, start wherever you are. So the possibility for travel definitely exists if that's what you want to do. If you want to put down roots and stay somewhere, you can do that too. It's, again, so flexible. You can work for yourself, or you can work for somebody else. I think that kind of speaks for itself. There can be a lot of independence in this job. You don't need anybody else to do what you do. It's not like, you do one piece of it and then you have to send it over to somebody else to do, something else. Referrals, like, that's a thing in massage. Like, it goes both ways. Other practitioners refer clients and patients to you, and vice versa. Or you may work in like a wellness center, and you may have like nutritionists and healthcare practitioners, and you may have talk therapists, and you may have acupuncturists and things like that. And you may, pass a client, for whatever they need to every department or every kind of practitioner. And that can be more collaborative. But to do what you do, like, while in, behind that closed door, like, you don't need anybody else to do what you do. And I really like the independence of that. So if you're not a teamwork person, we touched on this a little bit. If you're not a teamwork person, this goes along with that. Or if you are a teamwork person, either one. Oh, there's an ant. You can do either one. You can be part of a team, or you can just be totally on your own. The potential does exist to make the kind of income that you want. The averages, are that a massage therapist, going with the physical exhaustion and the burnout, as in the con video I talked about. If you're taking care of yourself and you're just really passionate about this work, and you want to stick with this and build something up, the potential absolutely does exist for the money to be there. Now, you gotta hustle, you gotta know, you either gotta know what you're doing, or you gotta know where to go to get that information, and you gotta be motivated to get it. And the average massage therapist salary might be, between like $40,000 or $50,000 a year if you do it full time. But again, the possibility does exist for you to like double that income. If you're working for yourself and you're charging, you've been doing this for a while, and you're charging, a fee that you value and that makes other people value you and your work and your skill set, your experience, it's there. Now, is it just gonna happen? It's not. You got to put in the work, but the possibility does exist. So another thing is that the education to become a massage therapist, depending where you are, like in the US, for example, I think New York has probably, I don't remember what their education requirements are, but I think New York has some of the most stringent massage therapy requirements in the US, I think. But a lot of places, you have to have like 500 hours of education and so many, clinical hands-on hours. For me, it was about 1 calendar year, a little bit less. I started school in August and I was finished by July. So like 11 months was my program. And then by the next month, which was August again, I was licensed. So in 1 calendar year, I'd taken the MBLEX licensing exam, and I'd applied to my state licensing board here in North Carolina. And by, the 1 year that I started school to 1 year later, I was, licensed to practice. And that's a short education. And that can be really nice. You don't have to have a college degree to do this. The only thing I would say about that is you do have to be a lifelong learner. Not only because, most licensing boards expect it, we're considered in the health and wellness sector. And just like a nurse, just like a doctor, just like anything else, you have to have so much continuing education every licensing period. Mine is every 2 years, and we have to get continuing education. So, being a lifelong learner, I really like that. I like learning new things all the time. And so it's a growing field. As more people learn about it, as public sometimes misperceptions that I talked about, public misperceptions that I talked about in the cons video, as those shift, as people are learning more about massage, like the field just grows. Like we're everywhere. Like I said, so many different work environments that we're everywhere. The field is just growing. And lastly, I think my point to tie all of this together, 2 F words, not that F word, is the freedom and the flexibility. It's just whatever you want out of this career, you can make that happen. The possibility exists. It's just very flexible. I have so much freedom. Most of us do. It's really nice, and that's what I super love about this profession. So I hope that you have found what you needed, and that, if you are thinking about becoming a massage therapist, if it feels right, I hope this has helped solidify that career choice in your mind. And if it doesn't sound like it's for you, at least you know that. And knowing what you don't want to do is just as good and just as valuable as knowing what you do want to do. I'm rooting for you. Good luck. See you next time.